All right, everyone ready? Hello, everyone, and welcome to Feasting with Phil. This episode is a special summertime barbecue episode for 2024. Today's my digital summer party, and I'm ready to eat. However, to forewarn you guys, one thing, number one, I'm in 60 frames in this video. Have you ever seen me in 60 frames like this before? No. I'm using a new webcam today. It looks insane, right?
60 frames of shit.
I'm sick. My throat is throbbing. I woke up this morning with a really bad sore throat. My wife's been sick all week. Now I caught it from her. So I'm putting up with this. I can't talk that much. You know, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten besides a bagel this morning. And I'm 6 shots in to Jose Cuervo on this marathon. So I need some food. So I'm going to have a variety of barbecue foods with you. And it's probably going to be disgusting, just to forewarn you.
Disgusting.
This is going to go for everywhere. Like, no exaggeration. This
I thought you meant the food, or you eating it. It's gonna be disgusting.
Explode everywhere, the kind of food that it is.
It's gonna
So I'm going to
explode.
show you what it is, but then we're going to do something new and different.
Have your pants.
You want barbecue, you got barbecue.
You got it.
How about fried chicken,
Yeah, that's not barbecue.
baked chicken,
That's also not barbecue.
or I guess rotisserie chicken,
Roast chicken, yeah, that's not barbecue.
and ribs.
Ribs considered barbecue. All of these are animals, but yeah, it's sad. Ribs considered barbecue, I suppose. Barbecue sauce on the ribs, but none of those items were barbecue food. They're just chicken.
Right there. 3 kinds of meats.
3 kinds of meats. Well, 2 kinds of meats, actually, because 2 of them are chicken.
There's your ribs.
And what's that? A bun? Like a cornbread bun or something? Little
Along with
cob.
the biscuit.
A biscuit. It looks to me like a fairy cake.
And then
So
I got some fries and some
chips.
fresh corn on the cob.
And it's just got like fast food. It's just got Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's what he's got. Slightly upmarket Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Who wants that? I know you want that, but you can't have it. It's mine. Okay? So I have a barbecue feast here, and I also have some baked beans that I'll be
Don't start me on that.
having with it too. Okay? Are you ready for something
Little burp there.
different? We're going to try something different. We're going to see
It's
how
not something different. It's fried chicken. Everyone in the world has eaten it.
this goes. You ready?
I suppose not all the kids in Africa have eaten it.
I'm testing this. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to attempt something different with this new webcam that I have. Okay?
Rocking back and forth. What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? We're getting to see the door. We're getting to see the floor. We're getting to see the table. We're getting to see his knee in shot. Please don't show your feet. We've got the boxes that still haven't, obviously everyone's got a load of boxes. This is the legs of the stand, which is just a little trolley stand that he puts the thing on behind him with the towel on. So that looks very unprofessional. And you'll get to see the LED lights on the floor there, glaring at the camera. This is fantastic. You've got your little tea table. You've got your little tutty table. You got your little dinner on your little tutty table. Where's your drink? Oh, you've already got that. That's tequila in a thing over there. Little tutty table.
What is so bright? Oh, you know what it's looking at? It's looking at the ring light. That's why it looks so bright.
Oh my God, you've got it
Okay.
pointed at the ring light.
So-
Well, you're not going to address that. You're just going to leave it.
Here's the feast.
Here's the
Here it
feast.
is.
Yeah, I see it.
You
You've already
can
done
see
that.
it. Look at that.
I can see
And now I
it.
can actually eat it over there,
Yeah,
and you can watch me eating,
right.
which is obviously very different from what I used to do because this camera now moves.
Yeah, I think this is worse, actually. Like, what he used to do is he used to sit up to camera and say, oh, look, I'm eating this. Or this tastes like this. And, like, sort of do it to camera. Now it just looks like I'm over your shoulder while you're having your dinner. Like, this doesn't seem right at all.
A new webcam that allows me to do this, right? How cool is this?
Not particularly.
You try different things.
You've always had the facility to do this. It's just you were too lazy to get up and move the camera.
Let's see what we want to try first.
You don't need to try any of these foods because you know what they all taste like. They're all foods that you've eaten repeatedly throughout your life.
Which meat? I haven't ever tried this fried chicken.
You have tried fried chicken.
This is from Famous Dave's, by the way.
I don't care where it's from. You've eaten fried chicken.
which is an American.
There's not going to be a dramatic distinction between the different fried chickens from the different places, and you can argue, and I'm sure there will be people who, you know, you might want to argue in chat that there will be people who can argue, yeah, certain fried, you know, obviously chicken cottage is not the same as Kentucky fried, you know, obviously there's a little bit of difference. There's not really. It's the same sort of thing. It's MSG, it's salt, it's pepper, it's a little bit of cumin, coriander, and it's flour, and it's dipped in the fryer. Like battered and dipped. It's just got like that's the magic ingredient is MSG. It's just fried chicken. Like everyone's eating fried chicken. It might be good fried chicken. It might be bad fried chicken. It's fried chicken. I know what all this. I'm a vegan. I know what all this tastes like. Like there needs to be no explanation. Scarf your fucking scran and shut up.
Barbecue chain of restaurants. I've never tried their fried chicken. I think it's.
And is this the Hawaiian barbecue? This is the Hawaiian barbecue that he loves so much. He fucking goes on about it like it's the luxury. It's rotisserie chicken that you get in a bag from fucking Morrison's and a bit of KFC. Like there's nothing. Like he's eating on paper plates. I think he's got his own metal cutlery for this one, which is a step up. It's paper plates in his little office room on his tutty table. This is not like high end stuff. And it's not barbecue. I refuse to accept that it's barbecue. I bet the ribs were done in the microwave. Come out of a plastic bag into the microwave.
Like brand new. So I'm going to try the fried chicken first. I don't know what it's called. It has a name, like Irma's Fried Chicken or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Did he get it from a different company than the Hawaiian barbecue? Did he get Hawaiian barbecue and fried chicken separately because Kat wanted fried chicken and he wanted Hawaiian barbecue? Is that it?
We're going to give it a shot. We're going to see what it looks like, or what it tastes like, I should say.
I know what it looks like, okay? And I know what it tastes like.
All right.
I mean, the crotch. We're doing the crotch. What's this? What's this now? We're doing the crotch. He's pushing the crotch in. Have I got the compressor on? No, good. I need relaxing background music for this. I need background music. He's pushing his crotch towards it, and he's got shorts on. He's got shorts, and he's wearing this shirt with those shorts. I mean, he's at home, just on a stream. I'm wearing jogging... Look, I'll show you what I'm wearing. I just feel like I'm slightly better dressed. He's done the crotch move. And what it is he wants to get around the table, doesn't he? So he's pushed his crotch up to the centre of the table. That's his move there. That must be a move he does. Like, we've all got different ways of doing things. Like, he wants his legs straddling the table. So what he's trying to do is drag his big chair up to the little table so he can get around it with his crotch. So his method is to say, open my legs and just push the crotch towards the food. If the crotch is touching the table, the legs themselves will naturally wrap around. That'll do it itself. So he's... Oh, sorry. That's the music sound. I was going to just rewind. Sorry, Debussy. Sorry, Debussy. Are you all right there, Debussy? Can we just... I don't have an option to make Debussy just the right volume. It's either quite loud or not. It's just a bit too loud. Can I have quiet Debussy, please? Can I have relaxing, quiet Debussy? There's 3 hours of Claire de Lune. 3 hours of Claire de Lune. Go on then. With rain. That's much better. So we'll watch the crotch shot now.
Like I should say. Okay.
In slow motion. Settings playback speed 0.25. And obviously I'm going to just zoom it in as much as possible. Well, not possible, just a bit more. Let's see this in all its glory. It won't work either. This isn't going to be a success. This isn't a move that's going to pay off. The crotch shuffle. He's much better off moving the small table towards him, isn't he? Like the big chair, stationary, it goes where it goes. It's always in front of camera. The little table, very mobile. Pick it up, move it around. Careful with your dinner, but like, this is all unnecessary anyway. You don't need to wrap yourself around the table to eat a piece of fried chicken. Here we go. Are you ready for this? Get over there. That's your dinner over there. How are you going to eat your dinner if you're not near it? Ugh. Get that crotch in it. Get that. Oh, he's pumping from the hips. He is pumping from the hips. Get that crotch up there. Get that crotch as close as possible. He's opened it. See what he's done? He's opened his legs out into a sort of flat, like if he was lying on the floor, he'd be doing some sort of yoga position. Do you know what I mean? He's got his hips opened out. Like some sort of, like for me, if I had to do that, I'd probably bring one. I don't know, my testicles. Like, as I'm doing it now, I'm thinking my testicles are going to get in the way. But I'd just probably bring my leg over. Do you know what I mean? Instead of giving it the full. Like, there's an obstacle in the way for the one leg, is there? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm really concerned by this, confused by it. It's a weird hip action. It just, there's so much wrong with it. And he's reaching in now with the big hands for the chicken. He like, get me by your chicken. The crotch is open. The leg is open. The crotch is open. Time for the chicken. Tender, gently. That's why they call them chicken tenders. Just gently there. Little touch. Little pick up. Show it to the camera before you eat it. The camera's not over there anymore. You've moved it. That's better. Thank you very much. Give it a good show to the camera.
Yeah.
It looks. I tell you what it looks like, Phil. It looks like fried chicken, but a bit too close to the camera, so I can't really see it. But yeah.
Crispy, hard and crispy on the outside.
Hard and crispy on the outside. It just looks like deep fried chicken.
See.
There's your bite. Oh, look at that. Oh, lovely bite of chicken. It tastes exactly like chicken with a bit of batter on it.
Wow.
Wow. He's a friend of Eddie.
That is delicious. It's juicy on the inside, and the breading has a spice to it. It has a little bit of a kick. Wow, that is delicious, juicy fried chicken. Yummy. I really like that.
Talking with your mouth full. Oh, diddly diddly. Did you see that? You catch that? Here's one for Snood. Did you catch that?
I really like that.
Watch this. Diddly diddly diddly. Does the magic powder dust look? Diddly 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 diddly. What's that? He's just putting some magic powder dust on his food. What he's doing, in actual fact, is when he's touched the food, he has like this compulsion that his hands are dirty because he's been touching the food and they've got food crumbs on. And sometimes they do have food crumbs on. And he would rather return the food crumbs to their source. Sometimes he does it over the food as well. You watch out. Oh, he's had $400.
I really like that.
This is part of the, imagine I do an event on stream, right? Imagine I do an event. Earlier I ate some nuts. Imagine I do an event where I say, today for my event stream, I'm going to be playing 3 video games, and in the middle I've ordered some fast food. I will be eating it on stream, so we're calling it a party. It's a marathon. This will be part of it. It's an event on the stream. It's a thing that is happening. I'm going to point my camera at the food so you can see the food while I eat it. Enjoy. Or watch me enjoy, I suppose. Diddly diddly. Oh, the serviettes come into play. And that's down again. The serviette there. That's down again. I've got this on 0.75. Usually we watch Phil sped up, but I want this slightly slower, but not really, really slow, but 0.75 is about right.
Full of flavor.
Full of flavour. We did an investigation there. We turned the chicken. We looked at it on different axis points. We investigated how it looks from different angles before going in for the third bite. Quite a dainty bite, actually. And we are concerned with Phil's dental situation. He does seem quite timid on the bite here, using mainly the incisors at the front. He's not gone for a big, deep bite there, has he? He's mainly, but then your incisors are used. Maybe, like, see, the thing with Phil is he might have bad teeth, and like he might be biting funny because of his bad teeth. But it might be because he's learned that the incisors are the teeth that cut the food, and the molars are the teeth that grind the food. So he's doing it in that sort of more formal structure as he thinks he's supposed to. Oh, he's having trouble separating the chicken flesh from the chunk of chicken here. Having a bit of a suck on that. He's left some of it. He's left some of it. Let's just review that one more time in slow motion. Actual slow motion for this one. Let's just wait. There's he's in there. He's in. Let me go back to 0.25 for this slow motion replay of this. He's in. He's giving it a. He's thought, I can't get through this, so he's decided to go for the suck instead. Now the suck is employed. The suck is fully engaged. He's thinking about it as he's doing it. You see his eyes have raised. His eyes are open here. He's like having a look and a think. I don't know what he's looking at, but he's probably not invested in what he's looking at. It's mainly all going on in his head about the suck. New webcam for this, so you can get a good look at the suck. And there's something fell. Something fell. Something fell. Yeah, look. We've had our first escapee. That fell. I think he's got it over the plate. I think it's over the plate. I didn't see it fall below the plate and the table, so I think that's saved by the plate. Because you know. Wait, since I'm doing everything quite chill and slow now tonight, let's do a bit of I don't know if we'll ever get to the tarot, I tell you, but let's do a bit of Where's is it this one?
You know what shouldn't be on YouTube.
There you go.
You know what shouldn't be on YouTube.
Where's Nancy?
And then for the ones, sorry, that wasn't supposed to be that. For the ones that are watching this and are looking at Darksydephil through which hopefully this will be up on YouTube tomorrow and they'll watch it. Some of them. Hello. They're going to want to hear this. This one.
Super chuffer, super chuffer, super chuffer, super chuffer, super chuffer, super chuffer. There's facts, there's reality, and then there's your
Bullshit world.
Okay. So we did have this falling piece. I was going to say, and you do know, that if that fell to the floor, it would stay on the floor for a long time. I don't know how often the hoovering is done, but that piece is going to be trodden into the carpet and it's probably going to just end up festering. So you got to hope that most of these little escapees, these bits that fall off, end up on the plate. You've really got to hope for that, for everyone's sake. At this point, he was up to $355 there on the old tip counter. $355. Big event stream. He doesn't seem very poorly here, does he? His throat doesn't seem too sore here. There he goes. He's going for the same piece. He's going back to the same place. He wants to make sure he's had one attempt here. He's going back for the second attempt at biting this piece off. He's already loosened it up with the suck. So he's gone for the grab and tear there. It's come away. Inspect. Having a good inspection. See what he's done. See what kind of damage he's done to the piece before he goes back. Where's the next bite going to come? He's gone for the edge. He's moving around the perimeter of the chicken. He's going for that edge. Maybe, as some do, saving the centre, the best bit for last, so you just get all the goodness at the end. Obviously, for me, vegan, chicken bad, but like he's now not really showing that off to camera. It just happens to be the way he's holding it. Oh, he's giving it a shake. Oh, yeah, no, he is showing this off. This is a showing off moment. He's giving it a shake. Look, Mummy, I'm eating my dinner. It's hefty, it's weighty, it's got girth. It's going back down on the plate. Watch out for the diddly diddly. Watch out for the magic dust. Oh, we're getting something special here. We're not just getting the magic dust. Before we get the magic dust, we were getting some magic hands as well. Of course it's salty, it's fried chicken, as he performs some sort of ritual chi, probably chi gathering like I do. Chi magic onto it.
Of course it's salty, it's fried chicken.
And that could be the slogan, couldn't it? They could put that on the adverts. Of course it's salty, it's fried chicken. So let's have that at normal speed, just for the purists.
Of course it's salty, it's fried chicken. Of course it's salty, it's fried chicken. It's
brilliant.
Of course it's salty, it's fried chicken.
So someone in chat must have asked, is it salty? Yeah? Of course it's salty, it's fried chicken. Meaning, you're stupid. You know what fried chicken tastes like. So doesn't that sort of make it look like you were stupid, Phil, by saying we're going to sit down, we're going to try it, we're going to talk about it? I mean, you can rate it, I suppose, in terms of fried chicken. Is it a good one or not? Yes, it's a good one. But like I said, everyone knows what all of this tastes like. It's obvious. So now your chat are asking you questions because you said you're going to sit down and do a taste test and taste it. Really what this is, Phil, is you want to eat your favourite fast food as part of you want to eat your favourite fast food. So you've incorporated it into your stream to pretend it's some sort of party event. It's like the most childish nonsense you've ever seen, trying to convince the audience that it's their entertainment that you're eating your fast food. If you want to eat your fucking stinking fast food, just eat your stinking fast food. Don't pretend to everyone that it's their idea and it's a great event and everyone should be happy and, oh, aren't we having fun? No. It's just dressing up your wants as other people's drives. It's the way a child would get their parent to get them what they want for Christmas or buy them that toy. Oh, don't you think that I'd be happier if I had that toy? I wouldn't need any other toys for the next 2 weeks if I had that toy. Oh, honestly, if I had that toy, then I would just probably go to bed on time tonight. If I had that, all this nonsense. Do you know what I mean? Like, Mommy, come and look, I've eaten all my dinner. Like, if we were having Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's just such nonsense. Let's go back to my commentary and enjoying it.
It's supposed to be salty.
It's chicken.
Really good.
It's good. Good chicken. The napkins come into play again, and this time we saw another Phil behaviour here in the wild. The napkin was held out in front of us, and the hand was applied to the napkin, like that. Like most of us would take the napkin, serviette, and rub, maybe rub our hand with the serviette or rub our hands together on the serviette. Here, Phil held the serviette out as a flat plane and then applied the grease from his hand to the serviette. Like a sort of wipe on, wipe off system. Wipe on, wipe off. Like, no one does that. Wow! He did an Eddie Wow.
Wow.
Wow, the crotch. You've forgotten that the crotch is still fully open and exposed throughout the whole of this. You've forgotten that the seated and eated position here is to fully open out one's legs like a ballerina doing a stretch. Like, don't forget that. I'm not going to let you.
Wow.
Wow.
That's way better than I expected it to be. Wow. That's way better than I expected it to be.
Because most fried chicken that you get from junk food shops is kind of, junky food, relatively poor quality stuff, isn't it? And what you've got there is like the primo, big old breast, double fried dip. Like, you've gone for the primo expensive version. So it's slightly better than your average junk. It's still just a piece of fried chicken though, isn't it? So I don't know how good or bad you expected it could be.
Honestly, I didn't think it would be that good. It's very juicy, and it has a spice, like a burning spice in your mouth.
Burning.
In the breading, that's really, really
They put chili in the breading.
good.
It's not breading, is it? It's batter.
Okay,
Okay.
let's try the baked chicken.
Oh, diddly, we got the diddly as well there. We got the magic dust. Here, look.
Okay.
Okay, magic dust.
Let's try the baked chicken.
Let's try the baked chicken. Why don't you just eat all of that first? Like, I don't care if you mix and match here because it's not like a roast dinner or anything, is it? Just why don't you eat all your dinner? Are you going to eat all of it, or is it just going to be samples? Because, again, I know what this is going to taste like. It's a rotisserie chicken, you fucking idiot.
Or I should say rotisserie chicken, because that's what this is. Rotisserie barbecue chicken,
That's the ribs,
I think.
isn't it? Oh no, is that the chicken? That's the chicken. I couldn't tell the two apart. Quality webcam. Although I'm not watching the original broadcast, I'm rewatching the raw Phil rebroadcast because I don't like Phil. It looks like chicken. You can't tell when you hold it close because of the lighting and the focus. There you go. He's leant in. We've got to lean in. And this time, not a lean in band, ladies and gentlemen. I need to go back to being relaxed like I'm watching the tennis. I'm alright if I'm relaxed like I'm watching the tennis. Oh no. I'm alright if I'm relaxed and just give you the commentary. When I start to get eggy about it. Well, I want to do a relaxed commentary. I'll tell you what I really like, if any detractors are watching this right now on YouTube, probably, after I upload it, hopefully. If anyone's watching this, then what I really like at the moment, Indrid's setting a wonderful tone with her detractor videos on Detractor Beam. And a lot of us get eggy and do a shout at Phil. That's quite normal, obviously. It's quite normal to get eggy and do a shout on Phil. But Indrid's got a very composed and considerate compassionate and thoughtful approach to her detractor content that she's putting out on the videos, and I think they're really good. And yeah, it's about tone, and it's a refreshing but meaningful attitude to the detracting. And of course, that's like on the show, on the live show, she's like lots of perky fun, and I think different brush strokes of mood really work. So yeah, I think she's doing really good work at the moment on the old detracting. So I'd like to just try and calm myself down here so that I'm not yelling at Phil, and just to do like a sort of somewhere between wildlife and sport commentary of his eating. So let's get back to that. This is the chicken. It looks like every other piece of chicken that anyone's ever eaten. Here we go. So he knows that this is on camera. He knows that his current seated position is too far away. We've given up on trying to move the chair any closer or the table. We did the crotch opening and that's staying open, but he wants this on camera, so he's going to lean in. And it's not a lean in ban, as the man is tend to pursue. Instead, this is a lean in eat, and he's like raising an eyebrow as he does so, aware of how cool he should or should not look while he puts this piece of chicken in his mouth. Big wide, here comes the big aeroplane. Double chins on the go. In it goes. He's kind of looking over his shoulder, right? So what he's looking back at is he's looking back at the monitor to see how he looks on screen. And if he could see it properly, he would realise that he looks like a fucking caveman. He looks like a man who's stealing the chicken out the bins and has been caught in the process. He looks like he works in a 2-bit restaurant and he's a pot washer and he's eating the chicken when he's not supposed to out of the fridge, and someone's come and caught him on CCTV while he's eating it out of the fridge. Have I slowed him down? Yeah, I'm slowing him down, yeah. Are you eating the shrooms? That's good. It's normal. It's not good nor bad. I can't advise nor... it's all right. It's fine. Mushrooms. I ate mushrooms for my dinner earlier. Oh, that's gone in. And he's leaned back. He's gone back. He's in for the chew. He's in for the input. The chew has started and he's back out of frame. This one needs more consideration. He's had to give us the hum. He's going to say this is more dry compared to the deep fried one. I think that's going to be his complaint here. It's drier in consistency and texture, but otherwise quite fair and fine chicken. And he's going to be surprised because this one's fried and it's normally more dry because it's fried, but he's going to find this one more juicy. It's probably because it's pumped with water before they fry it or something.
Well...
No offence to the people that fry the chicken. Although, fuck them, offend them, because fuck them.
I just got sauce all over my finger.
Oh, is it sauce? Whatever. He's got something on his finger, and that's going to go in the mouth now as well, so get that on camera too. It's this finger, Phil. It's this finger.
They do. The seasoning is quite good. It's a dry rub.
He has got a napkin available to him, but that hasn't been employed at this juncture. We've seen it a number of times already, but that's surprising to me because that's what I would use the napkin for, is to clean up my hands when I've got something wet on them if I was going to continue to use them for eating. But it seems like just the lick and suck was fine, and then the wet finger is now just reintroduced to the knife and fork, the cutlery. You know when you get your cutlery wet and it's like, oh, my cutlery's got wet, it's got some soup on it, I'm going to have to wipe that soup handle. You know, the soup spoon falls a little bit too deep and goes on the handle. And like, it goes everywhere, doesn't it? You don't want that. But for Phil, this is fine.
It's not spicy, but it has that smoky, savory flavor.
Savory? How can you describe a flavour as savoury? Come on. You mean... It's got barbecue sauce rub or whatever on the outside, hasn't it? It's just basically a roasted... I mean, it's roast chicken.
But the chicken is completely dry.
Dry. Told you. I told you. I spotted it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have dry.
100% bone dry. I now wish that I brought barbecue sauce up here, but I didn't.
Oh, another lean in chew. And the food here, shouts out Indrid again because she was reversing some of Phil's eating. The food is held stationary while he moves to the forkful. The forkful then is placed gently in the centre of the mouth, on the tongue. And is he a fork biter? I don't know, but the fork is dragged away there and everything is left within the jaw space, inside, within the mandible. And now it's going to be chew time. But that expression on his face, it's like an aggressive look, isn't it, that expression? Like he really is eating that chicken. The chewing is, as he moves away, we get a shot of his face. Blurred now this time. Blurred, for the first time blurred, as he moves too quickly for the webcam, even at 60 frames a second. And he's away and out of shot again to continue the chewing motion. That chewing will not be performed on camera. But the resulting flavour, once it enters into his brain, he's had a chance to cogitate it, will inspire more reaction, I'm sure.
It's so dry.
Dry, yeah.
Super dried out. Overcooked.
Overcooked. Now, this is an issue because the Hawaiian barbecue is one of his favourite places, but of the two pieces of chicken on the plate, it's actually the fried chicken.
Definitely overcooked.
It's definitely overcooked. This is an issue. So will you return to the fried chicken now? I think that he's going to make a return to the fried, surely. Will he persist with the dry chicken? No, the plate's getting a twist. I think that's both. I think he's been put off both. I think he's been put off both chicken pieces, and the tap indicates to me that he is well on his way to moving toward the rib.
Ribs.
Ribs, plural. Well, that just looks like a flat piece of... The plastic spoon's been put aside.
So here's the ribs.
Here are the ribs. And you're going to want to put your cutlery down and simply just pick those up and just eat them like a human being would eat the ribs. You could potentially cut them off one by one, you know, like... do yourself, like... But you're not going to use a knife and fork to eat the ribs like you're in some sort of Michelin-starred wedding at a restaurant situation and you're really desperately trying to make the right decision about etiquette. Like, you're just going to cut off a bit of the ribs and eat them like a normal person would, aren't you?
They're famous ribs.
They're famous ribs. Are we sticking the fork right into the centre? Are there no bones?
I gotta find where the meat is. Here it is.
Gotta find where the meat is. Oh, I see. I thought the line of the rib was a different, was in a different, God, I want to say the wrong word. No, I'm tired. I want to say parabola. It's not parabola, is it? Vertex. I thought the ribs were like across a different vertex. Is vertex... Alexa, define vertex.
Vertex is usually defined as the highest point of something. Apex. Summit. Top. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for vertex.
What do I mean then? I mean like plane, line, you know, direction. What do I mean? I think I'm so smart. Anyway, the ribs are aligned differently than I thought. I thought they were that way and they're that way. So he's doing what I thought. He's going to cut a piece off, a rib, essentially, off this quite small chunk. I imagine that's already been cut off a bigger chunk, hasn't it? That's what's happened here. Of course, we're not seeing the 6-bucket meal, are we? We're not seeing the full chicken. We're not seeing the multiple pieces of fried chicken. We're not even seeing the container that the fries came in, and we're not seeing the full rack of ribs, which I imagine he ordered the full wallop. I imagine downstairs he's got a fucking banquet laid out on the kitchen table, and this is just a plate that he's taken from... Sorry, I bubbled then. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if you caught that. A bubble of... It's not very couth. It's uncouth, isn't it, if anything? So I imagine there was a walloping great rack of ribs and other assorted goodies downstairs on the table. And this is just like, it's like he's got a buffet plate from his own buffet downstairs. That's what's happening here. The digital summer party event is not just, in my mind, I'm telling you, like, I'm making this up, but in my mind, this is what's happening, is like, real human beings might have a party and invite other people and lay on food. So what he's done is he's created that situation in his kitchen where he's got like party food, bucket of chicken, full rack of ribs, loads of chips, all this stuff. And the only person who's going to eat it is him and his wife. It's like he's organised a party and he's like, are the people coming around? Are they going to mingle in your kitchen? No. You're going to sit on the internet and beg for money and actually get $400. But it's like a party's happening, but he's the only guest in his own home. He's done a buffet. So there we go. This is bad film on the cutting. Look, he really is, this is not good. He really is not doing this properly. The little table is going for a wobble. But the fork is to maintain, I mean, I'm sure he knows this, surely. Like, he's just wobbling the two apart. He's trying to force it apart with the knife. He's trying to use the downward pressure of the knife to go through. But actually, there's no forward and back motion of the knife. You know, in fact, the forward and back motion is coming from the fork, like a dragging motion of the fork. You're supposed to hold it in place with the fork and then cut with the knife, forward and backwards. But you see, as it comes away, the force is being applied to the fork, dragging it back. That's how it drags that apart. So he's not using his knife and fork properly. And I question whether Phil can use a knife and fork properly. You know, he looks like the sort of person that might not have ever quite mastered this. Because he's failed to cut a rib. And it's quite a simple thing to do. You go up and down with the line with the knife and then the rib comes away.
It is.
You're picky with party food. I mean, if you get there early enough and it's out, I'll eat. You know, obviously I'm vegan, so I'm going to pick and choose which bits I want to eat. But I'm not going to be like, oh, everyone's been near it, I won't eat it. But at the end of the evening, when it's been out all night, there's no way you're getting me near that buffet. Right.
See how the ribs are.
Let's see how the ribs are. They will also be dry because they're from the same people that did the chicken, is my prediction. But he's going to like that sweet, spicy barbecue tang. It's supposed to melt in his mouth, but it's not going to give him that, like, because he's gone from the most moist item through to the drier items, he's going to find the ribs to be also dry compared to, like, I don't think on a normal occasion he would have found the ribs and that other piece of chicken to be that dry, but I think because he's just eaten a very moist thing, they're going to seem dry in comparison. So this won't be as dry as the last piece of chicken he ate, because it was, but it won't be as moist as the ribs he's ever had and that chicken. So it's going to fall somewhere between the two, but I think he's going to be displeased because he could have had a more moist, more melt in the mouth experience with the rib, and I don't think it will quite come up to speed. And it feels like what's happened is his chicken, he's ordered two different kinds of food from two different outlets here, I imagine. And so the driver has gone and picked up his Hawaiian barbecue and then driven to the chicken place and then driven to his house. And in the time it's taken for the Hawaiian barbecue to get cold, the fats have congealed and it's got a bit more hard. And I think the fried chicken that's juicier is warmer still, and the fats therefore are more loose in the meat and it's softer. And I think that's what's happened, is the one is slightly warmer than the other. And I think if you warm these up in the microwave, they would seem more juicy, so to speak, because they'd be warmer and the fats would dissolve, and that would happen, like, you know, like if you put something in the fridge overnight, the next day it's a bit more hard, isn't it? Like, you know. Let's see. What are we saying about the ribs? Salty, and also don't eat ribs, go vegan, huh? Like, there's so many better alternatives.
Flavorful. Incredibly dry. The ribs are bone dry. There is no moisture in the rib whatsoever. It has lost all semblance of moisture. They way overcooked the ribs.
It may not be that they've overcooked them.
Way overcooked.
It may not be that they've
That's not even close to being cooked right.
It may not be. It looks like a piece of crab or something like that. It looks awful. It may not be that they've overcooked them. It may be they've let them go cold. It may be they've been cooked once, then microwaved and let to go cold. You know, it might be as part of the delivery process, because you're not in a restaurant here. You're asking someone to drive around in the streets with a motorbike to bring them to you, or, you know, on the back of a Vespa. Like, it's not that you're having the perfect dining experience. So to critique the quality of the food based on a takeout is only one level of critique, isn't it? Because you could argue that the people who make the food might provide a better quality of food in the restaurant, and since you've ordered it, had it brought to you in a thing on the back of a motorbike, and then you've taken it out, put it out in your kitchen, waited till half time in your gaming marathon, and then brought it to the screen, that it's not being served at its optimum moment for it as a piece of food. But I would agree, I just think this doesn't look like the top range best ever. It's probably just because what most fast food places like this probably do, even the Hawaiian barbecue, Phil, is they probably get it out of the fridge or the freezer pre-cooked and warm it up for you, and then yours has gone cold now.
It's way overcooked. No liquid at all in that. It is dry. Wow.
Listen, as well, I'll tell you something. I once got a Pizza Express on DoorDash, and I like Pizza Express. I'm a big fan. Not of the one in Woking. I've never been to the one in Woking. I'd remember if I went to the Pizza Express in Woking. It's a very extraordinary thing for me to go to the Pizza Express in Woking. But the Pizza Express, when you're in the restaurant, they do a really nice pizza. It's a good experience. I've never had a problem. But I got it on takeaway once, thinking it's my favourite kind of pizza, and it wasn't very good. Like, the pizza in the box was relatively small compared to the normal takeout pizzas that you get for a similar sort of price. In restaurant, it's fine. You got it on a plate, and it seems slightly, big in front of you, and like it's just about context and the way it's delivered. Like, cold in the box, shuffling around in that box, like cold. Essentially, it's gone cold by the time you get it. It's not like in a restaurant where they serve it to you direct. And then the other thing, I did try the pasta once from there, and like the service in this like plastic bowl thing, again, relatively cold by the time I got to eat it, like not piping hot like you would normally serve pasta. Like, it was all part of the delivery process. I've had those same dishes in Pizza Express and enjoyed them. Like, so what was going wrong here? And I just looked at it and I thought, these packaging things and the fact that it's been on that motorbike driven around to probably 2 other people's houses before it come to me, whatever, like, it's just, that's the problem, isn't it? When you stick it in a box and drive it around in the outdoors in the cold, the food starts to decrease in quality. So after that, I didn't get a takeaway Pizza Express. I still think Pizza Express is all right. If they want to sponsor me, they don't. Not even the one in Woking. But I think that's part of the problem here. And I think you run this sort of DoorDash lottery, so to speak, in that certainly with fast food. Like, if you're, it's a weird one because there aren't many high-end dining experiences that are offering DoorDash as well, but it's more common because of COVID, isn't it? But if you're operating a decent restaurant, then you're going to have quality control and things are going to go out. But even then, certain things won't go out perfectly. You can't send this back, can you? And just say, oh, sorry, can you just tell the waiter to just overcook this a bit more for me or whatever? But it's this DoorDash lottery of, I guess, sometimes people don't care as much. It's just a fast food restaurant. They don't care that much. It's going in a box. It's getting sent out. And by the time you get it, it might not be up to its best nick. And like, I guess you sort of just play that lottery with takeaway food like this, and it's more prevalent with this sort of stuff on DoorDash. If you get a curry or a Chinese in the UK, it's much better. It's in much better sealed containers, and they've been doing it for years and they've got it right. But this sort of food doesn't do well being transported at long distances over periods of time or left out to stand, really. I think that's what the problem is here. So, like, McDonald's fries, McDonald's chips, like, what did I just say about Pizza Express? I said I've never been to Pizza Express in Woking. I don't know anything about Pizza Express in Woking. I'd remember if I'd been to Pizza Express in Woking. It would be uncommon. In fact, I'd have it written in my diary, and I'd remember several years down the line if I'd been to Pizza Express in Woking. Woking. I don't go to Woking. And not unless my daughter has a birthday party. Anyway, I don't have a daughter, so it's fine. I don't even sweat. The thing that I'm saying here is that McDonald's chips, McDonald's fries, yeah, it's very similar. And the burgers there, they've got a lot of fat in them. So if you leave them to go cold and then you eat them, they're not very nice. It's all congealed fat, and congealed fat's not very nice. And the chips are the worst one for it, aren't they? Have you ever tried eating your cold McDonald's chips? They're just not as nice, are they? Some people might like them, or I like cold ones. I don't care. They're just not as nice. And it can be as simple as you get them out of the bag, you eat your fucking vegan McPlant that's not even in the box. Check out my video on Yeah, you eat the vegan McPlant where somebody ordered you one with no fucking burger on it and it's not even in the box. You eat your nothing, but you eat your burger or whatever, and then you eat your chips and they're already gone cold and they're not very nice. Yeah, that's what's happening here. I think they are probably overcooked, overpriced DoorDash bits of rubbish, and majority of stuff that you find, like you play that lottery, you will end up with some DoorDash food that is not as big as you thought it was, not as nice as you thought it would be, looks like a bit of shit, and you paid over the odds for it because they've had to bring it to you. Welcome to using DoorDash instead of actually going out to restaurants or cooking your own food. Yeah, or even collecting it yourself from the restaurant where you can look in the bag and just instantly say this isn't right. But like, it's not a big deal, is it? Because you probably just don't spend your life spending, like for me, I did Pizza Express once on DoorDash and I said to myself, I'm not doing that again. It wasn't good value for money, the end. But for Phil, it's not very good value for money, but he sort of thinks it should be better, so he will just probably, he might even complain at the Hawaiian barbecue. I wonder if this can elicit a complaint. Like, dear Hawaiian barbecue, hello Hawaiian barbecue, dear sir, I bought Hawaiian barbecue yesterday, it was very dry. So, you know, I wonder if it will elicit that sort of complaint. But for Phil, it will continue in this vein. He will just keep ordering fast food on DoorDash, and then sometimes it will be bad and he will complain about it. But that won't change because that's what that is. More tearing, very, very, very caveman, isn't it? Like literally holding it with the knife, which is the incorrect form here, holding it with the knife and tearing with the fork. He's segregated that piece of, that wasn't an actual rib, it's just come away like that. There, he's going for the knife, he's trying it. He tried the knife. That's what, it's almost like he's feeding us. And he leans in and the food is in. And that face of concern, it's like aggression, concern. There's like a real face of intensity about this moment. The food has gone in, but some people, I suppose you look off at a position in space maybe while you're eating. I don't know, like, but I wonder what he's looking at. I wonder if there is an item or something on the wall that attracts his attention that he stares at. But that is a real stare while it goes in. Let's continue. Giving it the choo-choo. Shaking his head. He's not happy. He's not happy. He's poked it around the plate.
What a shame.
What a shame. Well, a pig died for it.
What a shame.
Yeah, I mean, what a shame. A pig lived its life and didn't want to get murdered. Like, it honestly didn't want to get murdered. If you give it the choice, it would have chosen not to get murdered. With most animals, if you say, do you want to get hit in the head with this thing or like shot with this or whatever, they're going to say no. Like, they're not going to say it. They don't know much about it. But they're going to, you know, if you could put yourself in their shoes, the one thing they know is they really would rather not be this. So it's a shame that it's come to this, because now you're not even bothered. You think it's a bit rubbish. Probably leave that, give it to the wife. Like, what a waste of a life.
It has good flavor, but it's so dry.
Too dry.
Like, I think they expect you to douse it in their barbecue sauce, but you shouldn't have to.
Hang on, is this that? Oh my god. No. Seriously, it's that, isn't it? It comes with sauce, and he's not applied the sauce. It's like, because it's takeaway food, they've put the sauce separate, and he's not poured the sauce all over it. So yes, Phil, they 100% expect you to douse it with the barbecue sauce. That, of course, makes up 50% of the barbecue food experience at their restaurant that they're attempting to recreate in takeaway form by giving it you in separate containers and expecting you to do. Yes. Yes. Phil, I think they are. I think you spotted it. By Jove, I think he's got it. So now all you need to do is just go and get the sauce and do that, and it won't seem as dry in your mouth. It will still be quite dry, congealed, cold meats. But they'll have that lovely sweet and quite moist barbecue sauce, succulent barbecue. That's the difference. Why aren't you doing that? Also, ALT says that he does this. He eats his food separate, doesn't let anything touch. I'm not into that. Everything should touch. It's fine. Like, ingredients meld in the pan and stuff. So, like, let things touch on the plate. But in the UK, the baked beans would have been applied to the meal and, like, you know, put on the fork as part of these forkfuls. They wouldn't have been put separate in a bowl and left us to eat with a fork separately. He's going to sample the beans and not eat them. I guarantee it. He's not going to eat the whole thing of beans.
The point is, it's supposed to be flavorful without it.
The point is that it's supposed to be flavourful without the sauce. Well, it tastes of meat and dry rub, but it's not going to taste of barbecue sauce. So if you didn't want barbecue sauce covered meats, why did you order meats that are intended to be covered in barbecue sauce? What do you mean it's flavourful without it? Of course it's flavourful. If you want char siu pork, then order char siu pork. And don't do that because it's pork anyway. Look, is the crotch still open? The crotch is still pretty open, isn't it?
Well, here we have potato wedges.
Great.
Which they call fries, and...
Well, we call them chips. They are fries. They're chips, potato wedges. They're not really big wedges. We can argue.
Corn on the cob.
And corn on the cob. So obviously you've eaten this repeatedly throughout the whole of your life, so you know what this tastes like. And he's going to complain that these are not particularly up to scratch. And the reason is, again, because they've been left out to go cold. But he's not going to admit that, so he's going to make a different critique. He's going to say they're salty, reasonably crunchy, but a bit soft maybe. He prefers them smaller cut.
Right, potato wedge.
Well, maybe he doesn't care. Maybe it's fine. It's just a piece of potato. But I think he's going to have a complaint. I think he's on a roll of complaint here, so...
Not bad.
Not bad, but... Fine. There's going to be something you can improve.
Not great.
Not great, yeah. There you see. But again, I'm
It doesn't really have much seasoning on it. Maybe a tiny bit of salt.
Bit of salt, yeah. Like, this isn't a surprise. It is a potato. They will be bland.
Honestly,
That's why you dip them in things. They will be bland. Like, a potato is relatively bland.
it should have more to it, like a flavoring, and it doesn't.
It should have more seasoning to it. Should it, though? It's just potato wedges.
It's very bland.
Bland. He's critiquing the potato on being too bland. That one got the pop in. I'm going back to that. Let's get that out of your mouth. It got the full piece pop in. He's trying to do this same principle. He's holding it up in front of the camera, but he's right on the edge. But same principle. He comes to it. He comes to the food. What's up? And then it's got popped in. And it does. It entirely fits. It entirely fits. That's in. That's being chewed. That's gone. You're not seeing that again. That's gone. So see, diddly diddly with the hands there. The hands got a bit of more of that magic dust. If you did eat with Phil, that would annoy you watching him do that. And if you shared a dish that he did that over, then you'd be even more cross. I'll just remind anyone, if they think my chat's slow, it's because it's now 4 o'clock in the morning, and what the fuck am I doing this?
It's just okay. It's not great. It's just okay.
It's just okay.
Has a little bit of bite, like crispness to it. But
I just set up the camera, but I don't think we're doing taro after this.
mostly soggy, mostly bland. Wow.
We could do Sunday taro.
Well,
Soggy and bland. Again, I think that's just by nature of the delivery process, and I think you run a lottery because sometimes they get it right to your door quick. Sometimes it's been sat on the side in the restaurant for a bit before they collect it. You know, it's just how long it's been on the side, isn't it? And then he's increased the problem by, instead of eating it the minute it arrives through his door, he's laid it out in the kitchen and approached it at the right time during his stream. So he's compounding the problem.
we got corn on the cob. It's hard.
Please don't, not the corn on the cob. Please just simply eat it and say, it's corn on the cob, and just move on. Please don't invest us in any more of our time with complications.
Hard to get corn on the cob wrong. Could they get the corn on the cob possibly wrong? What do you
Well, my guess is that it comes out of the freezer straight into the boiling water, so no.
think? Let's try. Let's see if they got it wrong. Ready? Messy ass eating 101. Here we go.
Are you making love to it? Messy? If you think it's going to be messy, you could just politely put your hand in front of it, but you're choosing to do it on stream. He looks like Andy Kaufman. I'm worried. I'm worried about this. How about this for a theory, for a Scott theory? Andy Kaufman died, didn't he? Andy Kaufman. Alexa, when did Andy Kaufman die?
Andy Kaufman died on the 16th of May 1984 at the age of 35 years.
You see, that's quite similar to when Darksydephil was born. It's only a couple of years.
And here's more about that.
Stop it. It's only a couple of years difference from when he was born. So I don't know, but is it possible that Andy Kaufman bided his time and is this, and he's just doing an elaborate sort of comedy performance piece by being Phil for his life, the life of Phil, and that this is. I just wonder. Anyway, it looks a little bit like Kaufman, or maybe Belushi. Looks a bit like Belushi there. But anyway, he's not just taking a bite of this. The correct methodology, if you were worried about the messy eating, would be just to put it in front, like, you know, get your serviette. Again, we're talking serviette game here, but just do that and just take your bite. It's just cover your mouth when you do it. It's also quite polite as etiquette when you're eating around people or on the internet in front of everyone. If you're going to pick your teeth or stuff, and I do sometimes. I've got like a little thing after I've had my my kale, you know, I do that. If you're going to do that, it's quite polite to cover your mouth like that. We've got Houston. We have a problem. What's going on? Oosh, I think we might have had the nighttime squirrel around because the dog was going mad in the garden. Sorry about that. Oosh. I've got her in though. Maybe it was Peter Folding, eh? Anyway, so yeah, etiquette, you know, covering your mouth. Simple thing. And Phil's chosen instead to opt for a rolling motion with the corn. He's not just going to eat, like some might go along the corn. Like, there's different ways to approach this, I suppose, but he's not just going to eat a sample bite of the corn. He wants to take everything. Like, once he's applied his mouth to the corn, he efficiently, I suppose, is going to rotate the corn and take everything along that axis, that plane, until it's gone. I wonder if he's going to move down and just do it in one continuous bite. Like, there is a chance he could continue, you know, once he's rotated, he could then move along and continue. He could do the whole thing. There's a chance for that. I don't think he will. I think he's just going to try and just take one, like a collar around the edge. Like, I think he wants to just take one continuous ring around there. It's a very strange approach, like, to have some sort of compulsion instead of to. Again, I've used the word compulsion, but it's like I feel like it's like a system that he's decided, like, or developed over time. Like, instead of just taking a bite, he's going to continue that bite until that rotation is complete.
Eating 101, here we go.
Wait, Phil, wait. What speed are we at? 0.75. Let's do half speed for this, just half speed for this. It's kind of quite a delight. He's like a human harvesting machine. And it's all being done with that lower mandible. The bottom jaw. I'm rewinding it. It's all being done with the lower jaw. He's like got he's got it firmly in place with the top teeth, and then the bottom jaw is stripping the corn as it goes round. I've never seen anyone.
101, here we go.
It's incredible scenes. This is incredible. He's gone all the way around. Look at that. Completely stripped. Sorry, I'm having to eat some nuts now because it's making me hungry. Completely stripped. Like a locust. They call him the pig roach, right? But like a locust. Oh, those biscuits went over. Like a locust. Completely stripped. This is half speed. Wait till I show it you in real time. It's like he's in a competition. Get it in you. Look at that. Don't take it away, that's impressive. Out of all the things I've ever seen him do, I think it's the first time he's exhibited a skill. I mean, he plays Street Fighter to a reasonably high level, but this is the first time I've seen him exhibit like a, you know, workable life skill. Something that might benefit him in some way. He's going to be able to eat corn relatively quickly. Like, much quicker than I can. If he really went for it, he could be through that corn. He could be through that by the time I'm even, you know, giving the crack of the pepper and assessing which way I'm going to approach it. He's through that. It's gone. He's got his own method. It's like he's evolved differently. Like an orc. Corn stripper. He fucking loved that as well, didn't he? He was right in there doing it, giving it the good suck and the chew. Right in there on that. Let's have that at 0.25 next. 0.25.
Yes, eating 101. Here we go.
I'm actually impressed. I love that we get it in profile as well. Look at that. Go, Phil. Go, Phil. Go, Phil. Eat, 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 eat. Of course, he is making a huge rudimentary error. Which is, of course, this is beginner's stuff, isn't it? You eat your top dollar food first, don't you? Or your chicken and your barbecue and that. Of course, obviously vegan, not advocating for it, but you then move to the side dishes later. You don't fill up on corn. You don't want to fill up on corn. Motor mouth through the corn. Funny, it's high fructose corn syrup in this, isn't it? It gets everywhere because they grow a lot of it, so put it in everything. He's like some sort of. He's like. He didn't grow up on a farm, did he? It's like I imagine it's like Napoleon Dynamite or something. You know that scene with the eggs in Napoleon Dynamite where they go egg farm and he gives them the eggs for lunch, and like it's got a hint of that about it. It feels like he grew up in some sort of rural area, and every summer they would steal corn cobs and rifle them back in the fields or something. Like, there's something special about this. I don't know if other detractors. I haven't watched other people react to this element of the stream. I just was doing my own stream earlier, but you know, I'm interested to see what other detractors will make of this, because for me, this is a phenomenal moment of Phil's life. A real special. Excuse me. A real special moment where we see, like this, the June the King, not June the King, there was, what's his name? Mike Clum. There was a guy called Mike Clum who was going to go to his house and film things and do a documentary. This is the sort of stuff that we would have seen on that. And already the new camera, simply by merit of being able to point over here, has given us a glimpse into a different facet of Phil, a different angle on the man. We've got the wide open leg crotch approach to the table, and the inability to use the knife and fork correctly, which I think we've seen that before, but that in me is completely confirmed now. But this, I've never seen another human being consume a corn cob in this way. And as I said, I think it's the first time I've seen him exhibit what you might be able to call a skill. I just feel like it's evolved different. I feel like it might be that, like, you know, in his ancestry somewhere, there's a different primordial creature that ate. Like, it reminds me of a wild boar. I think he's got more wild boar DNA in him than we previously assumed. And he employs his hand as well. Like, the rotation, he's got the bite and then the rotate. The bite and the rotate, like they're acting together, like it's like he's feeding himself and his mouth is like an ever-moving machine. It's like, you know, it looks like his hand and his head are independent of each other. It's like someone else is feeding that to him. Do you know what I mean? Like, the more you look at it, the more I'm starting to trip out and just imagine that's someone else's hand and that they're forcing him to eat it. This is incredible. This is why I stay up really late and smoke weed. That's incredible. I don't wait. Oh, as he's turned, look at that. That's the cheeky smile of someone who's got a mouthful of corn with one kernel on the lip. A jaunty kernel perched atop the corner of the lip. Ah, sir, good sir, I see you have a jaunty kernel of corn protruding from your lip. You must be a man of fine taste, accustomed to that of juicy, ripe, well-cooked corn. Says Phil. We're going to have this in full speed now, in all glorious full speed. Look how many times I had to press the button to rewind it. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 presses to rewind that. Like, this is he's eating the corn. Right, normal speed.
101, here we go.
And stop, world record. Gives it a tilt and a turn. It's like he was speed running the corn. And the tilt and the turn there is to prove to you, again, it's like showing a parent I've eaten half of it, like to prove to you, look, I've eaten all this all at once. Look, see how I've done that? It's all stripped. He knows it. He's not a fool. He knows it. He knows what he's done here. For some reason, this leg, this cock apart, broken hip leg action, yeah? This thing, it makes, and his exposed knee and his shorts, it makes me feel like he should be wearing a carpet slipper with no socks. Like a sort of brown carpet slipper, but no socks. That's why I think he's the normal, correct attire for the base there, but I don't think on his feet he has anything. I think he's barefoot, but yeah. Just a side point.
The corn on the cob is actually good.
Sorry, the what? The
corn on the cob is actually good.
No, sorry. The gabbity 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 ga. I'm going to have to take that again.
The corn on the cob is actually good. It's very sweet.
It's sweet. Corn may well taste sweet, I suppose, might it? Like sweeter than the chicken and the ribs.
Incredibly juicy and flavorful.
Incredibly juicy. So this is tonight's dinner is sponsored by Juice, and if it's juicy it's good, and if it's not it's shit, basically. He's not going to like, I'll tell you what, he's not going to like that muffin cake thing, that biscuit thing. That's going to be right out the window. The baked beans, they will have enough moisture to to appeal, I suppose. But that dry muffin cake, that's going to really piss him off.
They didn't put anything on it. There's no salt and no butter on there. But it's just the fresh corn on the cob. And everyone knows fresh corn that's sweet is delicious. So that's good.
Oh,
Here you go.
there you do go. That's your foot. When you say there you go, you've exposed your foot to the camera here. I told you there was no socks. I didn't need it confirmed. How have you got your leg up there? Is this your leg? Is this someone else's leg? Where's that leg come from? This seems a bit weird that it's over there like that. And it's really nearly touching your dinner, and we can see your dinner and your foot. So... Oh, the foot's wiggling. Oh, the foot's wiggling.
Okay.
This is repulsive. I'm sorry.
trying everything-
I should warn people because like that foot is wiggling. Like I don't know what can I say. Like carpet slippers with no socks. No, that's the correct attire for this. Honestly, if you're dressed, I'm not saying you should be dressed in shorts, a shirt. But like if you're wearing like a shirt, like a dad shirt, like a lumberjacky shirt, and a pair of shorts in the house in the night time, then you should then be wearing carpet slippers with no socks. That's the rules. Like I don't make them. But there are no feet, nothing on your feet at all. And to bring it into camera, there are some people that get a bit repulsed by feet in general. Like maybe there are some people that like pay money to see shots like this. Not this though.
In order here.
Oh, the wiggle, the toe wiggle.
By the way, how you like my foot?
I don't like it. I've already spotted it. Actually,
My nice naked foot.
you just touched it with your hands that you've been touching the food with, and you're going to touch the food with your hands again.
In the shot. You excited for that? No.
No.
Don't look at that. It's disgusting.
Exactly.
Okay.
But now you're going to use that hand that you just touched your foot with to now touch this food that you're going to eat. So,
We have a cornbread muffin.
cornbread muffin, which you're not going to like, I would put that aside. It's going to be dry. I can already predict that.
And some Wilbur beans, which are just
Wilbur beans,
they're baked beans with a bunch of stuff in it. I'm gonna
a bunch of stuff, a squeeze of barbecue sauce. They're not going to fuck about, are they? They're going to take the sauce that they've got knocking around everywhere and just put a squeeze of that in it. Or they probably don't do that. It probably just comes out of a thing like this, doesn't it? Like these restaurants, there's no way in the world the Hawaiian barbecue fast food chicken outlet is going to be knocking up a big batch of beans and soaking them in the morning and then like cooking them with tomatoes and paprika and like fucking about. They're going to open up the baked bean slot bag, the mixed bag, and they're going to pour it into the warmer and it's going to warm it up, and then they're going to spoon it out into bowls as appropriate, aren't they? Or even from the fridge in its package into the microwave into your box to take away. Like they might even do that. At the end of the shift they might put all the beans in these little microwavables, and then when you order it they might just microwave it and send it out to you.
have the beans first.
Right, in the UK we get through a lot of beans. I'm not in a position to I don't really want to sit here and go on a big diatribe about baked beans and the correct way to eat them. Now's not the time.
Okay.
This is American style, let's just say that, because otherwise we'll have it'll get out of hand. Let's just say it'll get out of hand. We'll just call this American style and we'll just accept it.
Wilbur beans.
Well, they're just fucking Heinz. They're not the American. All right, stop me. It looks like a tin of normal beans,
Everybody.
and I can see there's some sort of powder in there. So I think they put a spoon of paprika in there. Or is that a mushroom?
Stuff in it. There's pieces of bacon and other things
All
in
right,
there.
bacon. That's a piece of bacon.
Actually, I think it's not bacon. I think it's the like leftover like burnt ends of the tips and stuff is in there. So there's
What?
meat in there. Okay. Here we
You
go.
mean the pan scrapings?
Oh, the Wilbur beans.
Sorry, we got a burp. I shouldn't. I was talking. Sorry.
It's in there, so there's meat in there. Okay. Here we go. The Wilbur beans.
Of course, the microphone is over there where he leant to do the burp. I don't know if he's aware that the filter doesn't mean that you have to burp into the microphone for the filter to work. Like the filter would work if you burped away from the microphone as well. The Wilbur beans, the filter, of course, to reduce the sound of his burping, but he burped into the microphone. The Wilbur beans, Wilbur or won't they be a success? What do you think? I think these will be a success insofar as beans go. He will think they're good beans. is my opinion. They're going to be premium beans. They've got bits of bacon in and stuff. Oh, yummies. But he's not going to want to sit and eat a fucking punnet of beans with a spoon. So he'll immediately put them down and say, very rich, very moist. The savoury quality of the bacon really adds to it. Good beans, but he won't like then continue to eat them.
Wow. There's super.
Monitoring chat there. That little look back.
Wow.
Wow, he says like Eddie. And he's monitoring chat there. He's having a bit of a look at chat. So he's preoccupied with chat because he doesn't need to think about the beans. He knows what he thinks of the beans. He's confident on the beans. The beans are an easy slam dunk, easy goal. He's confident on the beans. He was confident before that spoon went in his mouth. He knew about these beans. He knows about these beans. These beans have been beans. He's been thinking about beans. He's got time to check the chat before he gives you his opinion on the beans. Whereas the other food required an intense stare into the distance. The corner demons. It's the corner demons, isn't it? They live over there. An intense stare into the distance. But the beans, beans freestyle. He can freestyle the beans. He doesn't even have to think about it. He knows that he likes them. He's checking the chat.
They're super good. Very flavorful. Tangy. Molassesy.
Molassesy.
And you could taste the big chunks of meat that's in there.
Yeah. You would do, because they're in there. But we did get a corner demon stare. Look, the food goes in. Again, the technique is to hold it up. Approach the fork before finally inserting the fork. But this has gone up to the palate. This is different. You can see here, we've pushed up toward the palate. Extremists, come back, extremists. Come back, extremists. There we are, I'm back. Okay. Whew. Gosh, that was close. Going back to Darksydephil. Going back to Darksydephil. Ladies and gentlemen, taking you back to Darksydephil. If you could just strap yourselves in for further punishment. We are returning to Darksydephil's broadcast. And why can't I see? Oh, yeah, I can. There we go. So we put the fork on the roof of the mouth, and we're going to scrape the beans against. This is a different. I don't know how much this you caught. So I'll repeat myself. He's using the same method,
and you could taste the big chunks of meat that's in there.
So we're leaning forward. Like we're holding this in front of I think it's for the camera. We're holding it forward. Maybe he always does this, but we're leaning forward to the cutlery, and then the cutlery is going to make the final approach. It's like the docking is going to be a two-way system, whereas normally the space station itself, your head would stay where it is, and you bring the food to your head. Yeah, but with Phil, he's like brings his head to the food a bit, and then the big aeroplane can go in and make its final movement into the big cave or whatever. And like so here, but what I was surprised about is on a plastic spoon. Maybe it's just different for the spoon or the fork, but here the spoon goes in and it's like up and into the palate, and then like he must scrape the beans from the spoon with the top teeth. It's like he's got again a different system on how to utilize something as simple as the cutlery. I can't even think how I remove the beans from the spoon, but I don't scrape them from against my top teeth. See how he's done that? Like you can actually see he's doing it because the beans go in and he doesn't fully close. Like his lower lip is still open, but the spoon's coming out very high up, like scraping it against his top lip and his top teeth. And then a very quick close as he moves the spoon away to reduce spillage. And the beans are in. So was that a second spoon of beans? I thought he wouldn't eat too many spoons. I thought they were like a side dish. They're a bit like me personally. I'm not going to sit and eat a whole load of beans with a spoon. I'm going to put it in with my food and mix them, like on the fork and yum. But like sitting and eating with a spoon like that's not really going to happen for me. So I'm surprised Phil's into that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I've said that I'll eat a cold tin of beans out of the tin with a spoon. You know, if I'm hungry, like it's not that I can't do it, and I'm like, oh, cold beans. But like with a meal like this, I'm surprised that he's focused on spooning beans into his gullet when he has like the main players of his dish that are quite expensive and all laid out on the table there, just being poked and pulled at, and really not like even the thing that he liked the most has not really been eaten.
Thumbs up to the Wilbur beans. They're really, really good.
It's almost like moisture is the most important factor, isn't it? Like from rank the food from most moist to least moist, and that's the order of which he's actually enjoyed it. Most moist being the beans, he really liked them. Second most moist was this piece of chicken, and then the corn cob. That's the order that he enjoyed them. These things came last, and as did the bland chips. He hasn't even touched the bun.
So Wilbur beans, huge thumbs up.
Huge
Okay.
thumbs up your bum.
What about the cornbread muffin?
What about you're a fucking knob? Sorry, I'm degenerating into normal field detractor mode there. What I actually mean is that I'm doing this as like a sort of cross between a tennis commentary, or maybe like a snooker or a golf commentary, you know, like a calm commentary, and a cross between that and nature commentary, aren't I? So I need to calm down there. I just started ad hominem attacks. Peeling away the wrappings here, peeling it entirely away. Now this is not something I tend to do either. Maybe I'm just being a contrarian here with everything Phil does, but considering how much of this I might intend to eat, I might use my cutlery to simply cut the muffin and leave it in the paper cupcakey wrappering so that I can remove the piece I want and leave the other piece still wrapped, so to speak. I mean, it won't make a huge difference, but I don't think, again, like the beans have gone on the side here now, and the spoon's been left in, and the lid has been taken away and left off. That would annoy me, because if you're finished with those beans now and you're not intending to eat any more of them right now, I would pop the lid back on, because you're only asking for trouble. With this, we've removed the outer casing. I wouldn't argue, you know, if you're having dinner with me and you did that and you only had half the muffin, I'm not bothered really, but I just think it seems like he's fully committed now to eating the whole muffin. Biscuit, whatever you want to call it, but I don't think he's going to, so it's going to annoy me when he later puts it down and it's not easily buffered by having half of its wrapper still on. Where are you even going to put that? Look, that's now trash. That's gone in with the chips because you're not eating them, they're going in the bin. Lean in and move to face. Oh, big spongy that was, wasn't it? He's gone full fucking hog for that. Swearing. Big, he's got his mouth right open. Are we still at 0.7? Yeah, we're still at 0.7. So he must have moved quickly. Let's see it in normal speed. Because the mouth is open as wide as it can go, and he's got no fear. No fear whatsoever. The mouth is open as wide as it can go, and he just plunges deep with the bun. I'm going to call it a bun. He just plunges deep. It can go against the sides of his face. It can be pushed into any cavity. He doesn't mind. It's soft. And he's going to be able to squash down, and with his lips, teeth, anything, it's going through it. That bun is being compressed and ingested. So he is going to... It's like watching this is almost like watching... with his big noodle arms as well. You see the noodle arms in the background there. It's almost like watching a... praying mantis or something with something in it, like just gone, like just one big bite here. That's real time. Although there is more technique than I was, you know, the speed and the force and the amount belies a subtle technique. You know, there is actually, I don't know if that's the right way I'm using that word there, but like there is a subtle technique. So I'm just going to go 0.75, but I'm going to go frame by frame because we are in quick and in hard. But what we've done here is we've placed the base of the cake against the lower lip and into the mouth. Yeah, it's being received by the tongue, and that's giving us a sort of guiding. And then the top is tilted in. Do you see that? We've gone in and tilt it in like that. We're tilting it in, and that's given us our full insertion, and then the jaw can start. Then the bite can come down. Then that pneumatic press can go into play. And we've completely taken a semicircular piece on this one. Completely like a cartoon bite out of an item. Completely semicircular. That's gone in. He's touched it all. Remember, that's the hand that he touched his foot with. Yeah. So the difference between my method of cutting it in half with the knife and eating the piece that you want to eat and the way he's done it is if someone else comes to that now, they're going to look at it and see it completely removed from its package. I mean, it's only his wife or him, but completely removed from its package. Someone's taken a big bite out of it. They didn't want it. Like, you could have done that and saved the other half, but I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter at this stage. That's that. Oh, we're going to get the magic. I'm going to slow us down again. 50% speed. Magic dust again on the meal. That's bun dust. That's good. And we're getting the serviette into play again. And this time, again, I don't use my serviette in this way. With a sort of... It's like he's using a controller. Like a really futuristic controller. With no thumbsticks or buttons, but... Really futuristic controller. He's just rubbing his thumbs. Giving that the thumb rub. Proving to us all that he is actually wiping his hands, so they must be clean. Now,
very sweet.
Or before he starts talking on that, what we're seeing now is that the outer surface, of course, has now been polluted. So, in order to keep this as a cleaning item, its cleaning properties must be maintained by giving it the fold, isn't it? So now the internal structure is the one that's been polluted. That can no longer hurt you. It's now clean again, ready for future action. So, giving it the fold. So. Just rewind that, and I will playback speed 0.75.
Very sweet.
The fold was immediately employed to wipe the mouth.
That's really all I have to say about it. It's very sweet.
It's sweet. Slurring all his words. I mean, he has had drinks by this point, hasn't he? He's had a few shots.
That's really all I have to say about it. It's very sweet. Wow.
I think he's quite drunk, actually. I think he's more drunk than you expect. I think he had the shots that he said he was going to on the stream when he was asked to with the money and stuff. But I think he's also probably had some more drink in between times, or maybe in his sippy cup, because he seems quite drunk. The bread is sweet.
Tastes like they have honey or something on there.
It tastes like it's got some sort of syrup, probably. Corn syrup. Cornstarch, high fructose corn syrup on there. It's a corn bun thing.
It's good though. It tastes good. It's a sweet muffin. It's tasty.
I forgot to predict this. I just, don't care what he thinks about the bun. Is it moist enough? That's what we want to know.
Okay. I'm gonna go back to the meat in a second, but first another.
See, he only described that as being sweet. He didn't critique it on its moisture content.
Right.
I can see what you're eating. You don't have to just tell me which piece you're eating at what time. That's a fry. It's not a fry. It's a chip. Potato wedge. I always used to hate potato wedges. Big, fat, not very crispy. Oh, diddly, got a bit more dust. All right, forget it. I can't say every time you get dust. He does it all the time.
First napkin down.
First napkin. See, I was commenting on the napkin. He's made a big point of it. First napkin down.
Okay, I have like 5 more.
Oh, that's fine.
And no.
Being put into action immediately with the fold.
Give me these. These are paper towels that I had in my house.
They didn't give that was bad service, isn't it, from the takeaway to not give you piles of napkins, because you will need to wipe your hands after you've eaten your food with your hands. So, how dare they not supply the adequate cleaning materials after you've consumed it and processed it through your system? You're going to shit it out. Did they give you paper towels for that as well?
All right. Back to the fried chicken, because that's the best meat. It literally is so good.
I thought this was going to be the case. That would be the piece that you want to eat.
I want more fried chicken. I wish there was more of it.
All right, hang on. I'm at 6:18:24. Does this go on for long? Because I'm watching it at half speed. It goes in 6:40. Hang on, wait. Is he still eating at 6:40? I just need to find out. He's still eating at 6:40. Ooh, the pace I'm going at will be here till tomorrow. What time in the morning is it now? It's 5 in the morning. Fuck. I can't do this all night.
It is so flavorful.
He's gonna repeat the same things though, but I'm sure I'd spot more if I. Oh, he's knife and fork action on the chicken. Why are you doing that?
Dry.
Oh, it's the other chicken, the dry chicken. He's still.
Oh. Oh. And there's so much meat on it, but it's so dry.
His foot's in play. He's making sex noises. The beans are being consumed. Incredible scenes. I'm not going to be able to watch all this at a slow speed. Just skipping through it now. Oh, he does some talking here. Oh, that's after.
Do something to them. No, they're a little bit of salt and they're bland.
He's cross-legged now at this point. It all happens. I'm not going to be able to cover it. It all happens though. It all happens. I'm sorry if you watch this on YouTube and I've advertised it as like Phil's food video or some shit, and then you were here expecting to see the entire consumption of the meal. But since it's 5 in the morning, I'm not going to watch the rest of this now. And I might say, oh, I could come back and do part 2 another time, but I don't think I will. So, a bit like Phil's actual event, I'm gonna just stop.
Can't even talk. I can't. My throat is completely
That's it. Sorry,
swollen
my
and painful, so
my throat's swollen and painful, so I can't even talk. So might just have to stop this video. Really,
I'm done. I can't. I sucked. I would like to play more for you, but I can't. I'll have to come back when I'm healthier. Sorry. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I have to call it quits. I don't feel good.
that was a big snort.
I can't even talk.
You are talking.
My entire sinuses are completely inflamed and in sharp pain. I feel awful. So, this stinks. Of course, this had to be during a marathon day that this had to happen, and I feel terrible, right?
I wonder if he's allergic to tequila.
Of course. That's just how it works. To be completely honest, I don't even know if I'm going to feel good tomorrow to stream. Like, I feel awful right now. Unless this gets better overnight, I don't think so.
You've had $408, so tomorrow you're going to spend all night.
Yeah.
Sorry, all night tonight, and then all day tomorrow pulling Hogan's and drinking tequila.
I don't think so. I think I might have to take tomorrow off.
To pull Hogan's.
Maybe come back on Monday.
Drink
Do
tequila.
the react today on Monday, and then see how things go. Because right now, oh man, like my entire thing, my whole up here, my sinus is all inflamed. The top of my
That's not your sinuses, that's your neck.
throat into my mouth here. Oh my god. Oh.
You're right.
It sucks.
Poreless. Bit poreless. That's what I'm hearing. Do you know what? If you still feel like this tomorrow, you don't have to go to school. How about that? But if you don't go to school tomorrow, then that's the last sick day you're allowed to have until Christmas. Otherwise, Father Christmas won't come. So only do it if you're really poreless.
Man. Well, I'm glad you guys are saying you like the stream. I'm sorry. You know me, I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver. I feel pretty shitty right now that I can't keep doing the stream. You know, I really do. I feel legitimately terrible. I don't like...
Shouts out to Jade, who's in hospital suffering from a major surgery.
not finishing something, you know? But I don't know what else I can do right now. So... funny part is, I still have to upload everything. I still have to set up the streams. I still have to do the schedule. And I still have to do the playlist for the clips. Unless, you know...
And, you know, maybe just don't do that because no one gives a shit.
Oh, I'm so sick. Maybe I should just postpone tomorrow entirely, and I don't have to do any of that tonight. Maybe that's what I should do.
Or you could still do the stream tomorrow, but you don't have to do any of that shit because it takes 10 minutes.
I think that's exactly what I should do. I should just upload and then set up nothing and say, guys, tomorrow's streams are off. I feel terrible. Take the day off to try to recuperate, then set all that up tomorrow and come back.
$408. Thanks very much for the money. I'm now going to stop the stream early and probably won't come in tomorrow either, actually. So this I'm very poor this. Very poor this.
Monday. I think that's the best idea.
Hi, I won't be in on Monday. Yeah, I'm very poor this. Oh yeah, I had very dry chicken from that Hawaiian barbecue place. Oh, very poor this. Must have been the Hawaiian barbecue. Very dry chicken. It's all in my sinuses. Very poor this. I did do the homework. I just can't go in. I'm just poorless.
Yes, this is definitely what I got for my wife. Of course, she's had it all week. She had it all week. Now I got it.
Wife problems. Bad wife.
Ugh.
Oh.
Sucks. I'm sorry. I hope you guys enjoyed what I did get through. I'm so sorry that we didn't finish.
The chicken.
I wish I could have been more energetic and better for you. You know, right now, I mean, what's the point of continuing when
I wonder if this is what it feels like to be a lady and then the man hasn't performed sexually and he's doing the excuses. Or even a man, actually. Why am I being sexist there? It's just that, yeah, that was just total, like, I wonder, this is what it feels like to be a person who has failed to have the man do the sex to them.
I wish I could have been more energetic and better for you. You know, right now, I mean, what's the point of continuing when I can't even talk, right? All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to try to get better, and I think I'm taking tomorrow off. I'll be back on Monday with what should have been tomorrow on the react shows, and then Tuesday we'll get back to gameplay, all right?
That's confusing me. The schedule should be set in stone, apparently, but the schedule now is just a movable feast that at any given moment just subject to change.
Stay tuned. Be
So
sure
why do we bother hard scheduling everything?
to check my channel page here, the community tab at the or here on the channel. I can't even speak. See, I'm delirious. Be sure to check out the community tab
Drunk.
on the channel page here and at They Call Me DSP on X.com tonight for the updated schedule. Okay, everyone, please have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.
Tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, I think you mean. You must be delirious. So, that was Darksydephil. I'm cutting that for YouTube, so you be good, YouTube, and if you can't be good, you're naughty.